All right, this is our week one pre-recorded webinar. I figured we'd do a pre-recorded version of this because it is Thanksgiving break, and I'm hoping that you guys actually get to take a little bit of a break, even though it is the first week of class. So basically what I'm going to do right here is just give us a quick preview of what to expect for this week. And then your responsibility is just to watch this. I'll try to make it as short as possible. And then to do a quick summary of your thoughts on this. There is, if you go into the class, there are some details that you just need to include in the summary. I'll show you that in just a moment. So I'm going to share my screen with you right here, and then we'll go into the assignments for the week and a little bit about how to respond to this webinar. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so we're in the class here. You can see you probably already have seen this week one preview, which kind of just goes over what I'm going to be going over right now. You can obviously also see more detailed information when you click on week one, like I just did right here. There's lots of reading that you have right here. Make sure you read through this stuff. For instance, when you get into the first assignment, it starts referring to Lee and Owen's book, and that is right here. You just click on that link and it opens it right up. So you want to make sure you read carefully through this stuff because there's a bit of information that's important right there. For this webinar, I'm assuming you found it. If you're watching this webinar here, this pre-recorded webinar, go down to the bottom here, and you can see that there are some requirements for your summary of this, since you're going to be able to watch this at your leisure. And then go ahead and respond to that. You'll get the points by just putting a quick 3-paragraph summary of your thoughts on this pre-recorded webinar. So here's the 3 things that you need to include, so like a paragraph for each. This is very informal. I'm not really going to grade it for, typos and grammar and things unless it's, really pretty obvious, but I want to be fairly informal, especially for this first one right here, since we are technically, it is Thanksgiving break right there. So don't stress about it too much. Just go ahead and make sure that you watch the pre-recorded webinar, which will actually be right here. You don't see it right now because I haven't posted it yet, obviously, since I'm making it, but right below this, you'll see a link to the pre-recorded webinar. And then just go ahead and click right here, and then you'll be able to submit your document with your thoughts on this. So that's it for this part. Let's go ahead and get into the rest of it. So let's get into that. Like I referred to just a moment ago, there is sort of an overview of what to expect for week one. So I just kind of break down each of the assignments and the points and whatnot. This class does follow a pretty routine setup for assignments and points and things like that, which I kind of like. But here's just a little bit of information of what to expect. And then, of course, if you click on the week, week one for this, then you get a lot more detail as you start getting into each of the assignments. So your first assignment, week one, assignment 1, is just going to be preparing for an online course that you're going to create. And I know that sounds pretty daunting, creating an online course, especially since it's going to be a 4-part online course. But please remember that you're only going to be responsible for one part of this online course. You can build as much of it as you would like to during the duration of this course, but you will only be responsible for doing one portion of it. So like if you break it down into like 4 different units or 4 different weeks or whatever, you're just gonna have to do like 1 unit or 1 week. So go ahead and look at the requirements for this assignment. It's just going to be a 500-word, not really an essay, because you could just, have sort of, just information for each of these sections right here. So yeah, I guess it could technically be an essay, but could be formatted a little bit differently as well. So you're just kind of defining what your learning object is. You're getting into a needs analysis, go ahead. I won't go into detail right now, but go ahead and you're going to want to read these chapters to find out a little bit more about what a needs analysis is and what it looks like, and describing your target audience and your course objective analysis summary, and all that is outlined in those chapters that you see right there. So read through those and then just do the best you can, 500 words or approximately 500 words to define each of these things. And basically the idea here is to get you ready, get you thinking and brainstorming about your online course, because you do have to think about this course as a whole before you get into actually starting to create it. You don't want to just jump in there and start creating it, because you're going to probably find that you're going to have to be redoing things, because you'll create something and go, oh no, wait, that doesn't fit there, or oh, I really don't need that, or that doesn't meet my, the needs for this learning object or for my target audience or something like that. So you're going to want to think through this stuff, before you actually get into designing it, which then brings us to the next assignment number 2. And basically all you need to do is post a simple web page right here. So if you're familiar with something like Google Sites or EduBlogs or Weebly or something like that, it's fairly easy to start a website. If you need help with that, of course, let me know. I'm even willing to go ahead and put together some quick video tutorials or whatnot to help you guys with that. But it's pretty easy. For instance, Google Sites, if you have a Gmail account, you have access to a free Google site, and it's fairly simple to start a Google site. So all you're going to be doing for this assignment is just selecting a theme, okay, which can be changed. A domain name, basically, if you use something like Google Sites, that will be made for you, okay? So you're just going to go ahead, and all you need to do is basically give me a link to your site, which one thing, and that's basically it. So you're just starting your site. It can just be one page for right now. That's it. Select the theme you like, which can be changed later, and then just send me a link so that I can go check it out. However, you do want to be thinking about, for this one, there's a difference between when you're editing your site and somebody else is viewing your site. So you're going to want to make sure you send me a link to where people would click on to view your site. If you send me the link that's up at the top, like up here, for instance, as you're editing your site, then I probably won't be able to see it, because it's going to be the link you would use to go edit your site, not the link somebody else would use to go view your site. So there is a little bit of a difference there. Maybe at the end here, I'll try to show you, my site and show you kind of how that works. But that's it. Just kind of start your site, select the theme, send me the URL, and you're done for that one. And then we'll start to build it as we go through the class. You're going to have 2 discussion boards, so I won't really go into detail right here, because you can certainly just go over here and go to discussion boards, which are, sorry, I always end up losing these right there. There they are. So they're up there on discussion boards. You'll see the 2 discussion boards right here. So week 1, discussion 1, and discussion 2. Make sure you read closely how many students you're supposed to respond to, because you get points for that as well. And then if you have something like this one right here, where it says, make sure you respond to these things specifically. What's really helpful is, first of all, make sure you respond to all those things, because, for instance, if this is, worth 30 points, I might just kind of break this up a little bit. Oh, I just realized the formatting's wrong on that one, so I'll have to go ahead and change that. Sorry about that. But let's say there are 4 things you need to outline. I might just kind of, divide that, give you, 5 points for just responding to one other person. And then if there's, 25 points left, maybe I give, 5 to 7 points for each, whatever that would work out to be. Now there'd be 4, so it'd be like 5 or, 6 points or so. Sorry, I'm having trouble with the math, right? They're about 5 points each, probably. If it's 5 points for responding, and then it's a total of 30, so you get 5 more points for each of these sections right here. So if you completely ignore one of those sections, and of course you would lose 5 points in this case, if I'm doing the math correctly in my head, then you'd lose those points because there's nothing there. Something that's also helpful too is kind of even just like putting like a subheading for each of these, like outline the 4 parts of or units in your course. So if you just have, 4 units of my course, and then your answer, and then the next one, identify one of the 4 that you will develop, and you might put, the one I will develop, and then have your answer like that. What that does, if it's very clear, where these answers are, then they don't get lost in the overall paragraph. If you just kind of have this one long paragraph that answers everything, there's a slim chance that I might not see your answer in there and say, hey, I didn't see anything in there, and then dock you points. If that ever does happen, please feel free to contact me and let me know, okay? And I'll gladly go back and look at it. But then, the clearer they are in your post, the less chances something like that would happen. Very small chance it's going to happen, but it helps, as you're posting those things. All right, that's about it for the discussion board. Let's see what else we have. Or discussion boards, I guess I should say, since there are 2 of them right there. And then the last thing for this week is just going to be this week 1 live chat, which isn't going to be a live chat. It's a pre-recorded thing, and you're doing that right now. So, and that one I talked about earlier. It's just putting your summary with these 3 things included. That's about it for this week. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. And I truly hope that you are, able to get some rest during this time. Let me go see if I can show you my Google site and show you a little bit about what I was talking about before, about editing versus viewing. Okay, so if you have a Gmail account, you actually have access to building a free website. A lot of you probably already know this. So all you have to do is click up here in the top right-hand corner on this little like waffle-looking thing, or whatever you want to call it, next to your profile picture for your Gmail account. And then you just click on sites. If you can't find it, you keep looking, it'll be there. You can also go to sites.google.com, I believe it is, and it takes you to it. And if you're logged into your Gmail account, you'll be right there. If not, you might just have to log into it. Once you click on sites, you'll see the ability to edit that site. Actually, I misspoke a little bit right there. You might have to go ahead and click on Start a New Site. There's some templates you can choose from right here, or you can just start a blank site if you'd like to. If you've already got one started, you would go ahead and click on this. So I'll go ahead and do that just to kind of show you what that looks like. And when you've got your site started and you're looking at it, you just get your editing tools here. It's fairly simple to edit. For instance, if I wanted to change this, like for instance right here, it says the course this month is EDT 609. I would want to go ahead and change that, which I can do in just a moment right here. There we go. I just click on this little gear icon there, and I can just say is 607, and that's it. I've just changed it right there. And you can see it's just changed. I just clicked on the X and it's just changed right there. It's that easy. If you want to add something like some text, you would just click on the text box right here, and there you go. A text box appears, and you can just write whatever you want to at this point. You just write it right in there. Want to get rid of it, and just go ahead and delete it really quickly. So it's fairly simple to add images and text and things like that. There's all kinds of tools which I won't go into right now. But what I did want to point out is I wanted to point out that this link right here will take me to my editing. But if if you share this link with me, since I don't have access to your Google account, you would want to give me access to your Google account, I won't be able to see it. So you're going to want to do something slightly different right here. Okay, what you're going to want to do is, if you've, you're probably going to want to just do this anyway, even if you already have a site that you're using and adding to, which is an option. You're going to want to go ahead and say publish right here. When you click on publish, it'll show you, oh, wait a second, I got to just add something here so I can show you what it looks like. So when you click on publish and there's actually some changes, or it's new, I suppose, then you would see, what you currently have published here and what's going to be changed. So you can see what I did is I just made the EDT 607 show up right at the front right here. So it just shows me what my changes are. I click on publish right there. Okay, and now I've actually published my site. So it's actually out there on the internet right now. So I just need to go ahead and go look at it from a viewer's perspective, and then I can share that link with someone and they can go find it as well. So what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to click on this little down arrow, this caret right here, and click on View Published Site. And then when I click on View Published Site, I now have a different address right here, a different URL up at the top. This is the one that you can right-click on and say copy, and then you can put that into the the comment section under the assignment for this one, and then I can click on that link and I can go see your site. Of course, if you have any trouble with this, I'm happy to help, but that's one way that you can share your site with me. So for that assignment, like I said, really not much is required. You just need to have, you don't need to have all this stuff right here. You might eventually, end up with something that says like week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4 right there. But for right now, you just need to have a theme, and you might just say, my online class. It might just say right there, and that's it. That's all you need for this first assignment. All right, hopefully that's helpful. If you have any questions, go ahead and let me know. One of the things you'll see in here if you go to my site, which is a link to it in my welcome announcements, and when I email you guys, I think it's at the bottom in my signature, is you see other webinars. These are old webinars. They might be a little bit different as the class changes, but oftentimes they're very similar, if not exactly the same. So if you want to get an idea, like for this one right here, it looks like I'm showing somebody's completed online course or something like that. If you want to get a preview of that, then you can go ahead and check those out if you'd like to. That's about all there is for EDT 607 right there for that. So I just wanted to show you that. Okay, and that's about it for week 1. Hopefully this wasn't too painful. All you have to do now is just go ahead and do that quick write-up and submit that into the live chat down at the bottom, right above the link to this recording, most likely. And that's it. Hopefully that wasn't too painful. Thanks very much, and have a great week, guys.